All right. I'm trying it again. Let's see. Let's see if that works. Let's see. Let me see. I'm live on Twitch again. That is good again. And am I live on YouTube or not? Please let me be live on YouTube. Please, 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 please. Yes, I think I am. I think I am live on YouTube. All right. I think I should be live. I should be live. Come on. Come on. So I think I'm good to go on Twitch, but I'm not so good to go on YouTube. Wait a second. Yes, I'm streaming on YouTube as well. Okay. So far nobody's here as far as I can tell. So YouTube events? Why is it doing YouTube events? All right, let me know if you can hear me and if you can see me, please, because I do not have that much time. I think Twitch is here and YouTube is here. I can see hi from Ivory, finally, thank you. I think I'm streaming under YouTube, not live now, YouTube events. Not sure, I'm still figuring this out as I go. You can hear me, very good, thank you for waiting, thank you for sticking with my stream. All right, so I'm streaming simultaneously at Twitch and YouTube, and it would be my first ever stream on both platforms, so really forgive me for any technical difficulties I may encounter. Can I share a link to Twitch stream? Sure. There you go. Yeah, I think I pasted it. All right. But I think I should be able to do it from, I can, there you go. So you can watch on both platforms. Maybe there will be a little delay or something. All right. So what am I gonna talk today about? As you can see from the name that I just, Happy Easter to you too. Thank you. In Eastern Christian tradition, we have Easter today. So we celebrate it with family, online, from home. That's why I'm dressed up. Thank you again. So I was told that on Twitch you should talk a little bit first because people will not follow you so quickly, and you need to be able to just chat with yourself. But I still want to keep you entertained. So today I'm gonna talk about LcZero and Stockfish. Thank you for that. Is a nice shirt. That's a present. Friends and family presented it to me. I love this traditional Ukrainian shirt. You can see it right here. All right. As you probably know, Magnus Carlsen they are gonna start in, I think, 45 minutes from this second. The second day of their tournament is gonna be held. So I'll try to wrap up my stream until that time happens, so you can enjoy that stream as well. There are plenty of good GMs commentating that. And the first day, so I think it is, let me be precise here, I think it's a knockout. So Carlsen Invitational. Yesterday they had the first day. I didn't have time to check all of it, but I did see the most important moments. Magnus beat Nakamura. In Armageddon there was controversy. Since it's online, it's very hard to do it well on the first try. So they had Armageddon and they didn't put more time on Hikaru's clock. So I'm not sure what would be the right decision to go through, but they stick with Magnus's one. So he beat Nakamura, and Firuza lost to Dink. He should have lost much more than he did, but he lost only -1. And Dink was definitely better. Firuza was very creative. And today they have, in 40 minutes now, Caruana plays Nepomniachtchi and Vasiela Graf plays Giri, so that should be fun to watch. My stream is about TCEC Superfinal, where LcZero is still playing with Stockfish. So last time I had a stream about that was some time ago, but there are many draws, that's why I delayed my current stream. So far, the score is 43-41 in LcZero's favor. So they play game number 85. I think there's 100. That is the number. That is the number that they are going to play. So LcZero is 2 points ahead. It was even 3 points ahead just yesterday, I think. And I will try my best to check all the winning games. And there were many interesting draws, but there's no time to check all of those. Maybe in the future I would stream about the best draws or something. But for now, I want to talk about their match. So last time the last game we stopped was, I think the score was, hold on a second, +2, +3, +2, +5. Yeah, the last game I checked, Stockfish won, and then we'll see the game which LcZero always plays the second game after. Yeah, they played this position. That was the position they were forced to play, and Stockfish won against LcZero quite well. And if I remember correctly, LcZero blundered in that game. All right. So, and now it was LcZero's turn. So my view is that LcZero is way better positionally. So if they get closed positions when there are pawn chains in the center, LcZero is way better. But when the position is open, Stockfish is better. And so what Stockfish did, it just checkmated the king in that game. You can check one of my previous streams. Stockfish fantastically won against LcZero. LcZero played very dubious move, like bishop b7 or something. Very weird move, and that was a, well, very sophisticated blunder. And so here we are. So they played the same position. They had, check out LcZero style, how it beats Stockfish here. I'm not going to run Stockfish here. There was not much to discuss from computer point of view. And all right. So knight g5, e6 is hanging, f4, knight f7 takes. So black knows that white's going to block the bishop, so bishop gets out first, and now e5. White is 1 pawn down, but white is strategically way better because of that very bad bishop on c8. If that bishop was like on d5, black would be better, but the bishop is on c8, and just because of that, white has huge advantage, and white slowly improves. Just check. I really enjoy what LcZero did in this match, in this game in particular, is with almost every move it was improving its position. So white is 1 pawn down, but strategically there's a weak pawn on e6, weak squares, bad knight, bad bishop, huge. Like white is way better here. So check out, improving the queen, improving the knight, improving the rook, improving the bishop, and it's very hard for black to improve its position because, well, the knight went to d5, but then it's difficult. Queen a6, protect the pawn, get some space, h5 in the air, b6 improves the bishop, bishop takes, pawn takes, bishop a6, rook f2, the rook was hanging, rook g7, bishop h3, there's not much to do on long diagonal anymore, so that's why bishop goes to h3 to attack a pawn. Why would I want to view it on Twitch if you can see it on YouTube? You mean my stream, or I'm not sure what exactly. Yeah, you mean the previous comment. Yeah, I'm trying to do both platforms. I thought it would be easier than that. Well, 2 viewers on Twitch, they're very good. All right, and I didn't even finish my page on Twitch. Like I don't know who I am at this moment. At least on YouTube, you can read about me in the description. Anyways, let's go. Let's continue. So rook g7, improving the bishop. This move I find very weird. Rook a1 is, the pawn on h3 is sort of hanging, so white needs to deal with it. Rook b2, b2, now taking, I think the queen is trapped. So I think if queen takes, it's attack the queen, and if queen goes here, attack again. And I think the queen is trapped, and if queen goes to c1, the queen is trapped linearly. So this is like very simple from tactical point of view in computer science, protect the pawn. Now finally protecting the pawn. It reminds me a little bit of French defense. The queen is on a4, the rook is on a2, and the queen is completely misplaced. And yeah, I think I posted the wrong link to my Facebook pages. You're welcome to check my second Facebook page, the business one. GM LcZero, facebook.com/GM LcZero together. I would leave the link in the description when I change it after I finish it. All right, so what we were talking about, improving the position with every move. b5. Now h5. All white's pieces are ready. Queen a5, h6. LcZero loves putting the pawn on h6, and the king is a long-term problem, and that pawn is almost impossible to win. Now improving the queen, improving the queen, improving the knight. Well, c3 was now hanging. So again, another trick. It seems that the pawn is hanging, but it's not. So check, and the queen is lost. So bishop d, the pawn was hanging, so it protected it. Rook c1, the rooks are getting ready to double on any part of the board when required. King g8. Now there's not much to do on that diagonal anymore, so bishop goes to g2. By the way, you're welcome to ask any questions, well, chess related questions, please. So, and now rook e8. That move can look weird to a human eye, but white is ready to break through with a4 or g4 and f5. Black's position looks solid, but in fact it's very fragile. White is ready to blow up the position like this, and bishop d5 should be calculated on every single move. And so rook e8 takes, a4. So here LcZero gives up a few pawns with the goal to open more files. So if you have exchange, you need to open as many files as possible, because otherwise if black were to push a4 and then maybe stop f5, it would be much harder. But a4, 2 pawns, giving up 2 pawns for the sake of opening the files, and now all the pawns would disappear on the queen side. 1, 2, 3, and then number 4. Okay, the c6 would fall any moment now. So here, this is the weird, I discussed it in my previous streams. LcZero is not very consistent when it comes to converting the advantage, so I'm just gonna skip that and took the pawn, improved the rook again, and now it was time to act, like push f5, you know, go around with the king. There are plenty of winning plans here. Pushing f5, I'm not so sure about that. Just move the king around, just move it to d6 or something, and that should be a win. So it did, I think, I didn't even check how did white win. So white definitely wasted time. And now h5, stopping g4, but then king comes back. Yeah, okay, Stockfish thinks that this is a better way to hold it. And again, LcZero is finally winning like this. So LcZero won in a positional style. Stockfish, on the other hand, when they were playing literally the same position, was doing the complete opposite. It was attacking the king. I really want to share both links. Thank you so much. Thank you for your help. All right, so the second game that I wanted to show you was this one. It was a draw, but I find it very interesting. They were forced to play one line of dragon. I don't remember what exactly was the position. I think it was somewhere here. And Stockfish couldn't win. Yeah, bishop g5 in correspondence, and in correspondence they know king f8 is the good move. And you'll see next game how Stockfish played it poorly. And now you'll see how LcZero managed to hold this one. King f8, this is yeah, in correspondence they did that. And Stockfish went for g4. King f8, I've never seen this kind of defense actually in Dragon. Usually you want to avoid the pin with bishop h6, exchanging the bishops, but apparently here that's a great move. So Stockfish goes and attacks. So I'm going to give you my poor Stockfish evaluation. Also, I want to say I do not recall this pattern that happened here. Hold on a second, I'm going to move my face a little bit higher so that you can see. No, I'm going to just move this one a little bit. Oh, why is it so slow? Hold on, it should be way faster. So, yeah, I had a problem. I accidentally stopped my stream using shortcuts. We'll see. Come on, Stockfish. Come on, you should be like 5-10 times faster. I don't know what's up with my Stockfish 11. Oopsie daisy. Maybe it's because of restream. It cannot run. Why is it so slow? Anyways, okay, I'll have to do it without Stockfish. Sorry, I'm gonna use my own engine built in my head. So I really like this idea. I do not recall a lines because usually there's no king on f8. It's h6, not taking the rook. h7, quiet move. Rook goes to c5, check. Exchanging queens and bishop g7, very nice. The bishop cannot be protected, and if takes, it's like mate in, you cannot take because promote and back rank mate. So knight takes, and the evaluation of Stockfish here was like huge. Winning the rook, g takes f. And LcZero is way better at evaluating very unusual positions. Stockfish is not so good with that. So this is extraordinary position. Well, it's typical for dragon to have several pawns for a piece, but for a rook, I don't know. It's like only 3 pawns for a rook, right? 1, 2, 3, yes. It's 3 pawns for the rook, but they are amazing. The knight is great on e5, the pawns are powerful, and Stockfish couldn't win this one. And so king goes, and I want to point out that LcZero knew here that black had good position, and Stockfish didn't. So with every move, black is improving its position. Improves the bishop, take the white squares, like lock this bishop, stop knight f5, push the pawn, push the bishop. Now knight e4 is weak, knight goes to f6, rook goes to e5. All best moves, of course, according to Stockfish. And then what I found very funny, g2 is like, no, knight e4 is what humans do all the time. Why would you do g2 and then take, if you can take on e4 and then move to d6? And anyway, so in LcZero's mind, it doesn't matter. And what is really funny, Stockfish was giving huge evaluation of this position, more than +1. More than +1 in this position. From your point of view, I see. Okay. Yeah. Why does it say I'm offline? I don't know. The restream says I'm online on both. That's fine. Okay. Okay. So I'm just gonna proceed. Let me know if you lose the connection. From human point of view, you just move the king, you just put all your pawns on dark squares, and it's amazing that Stockfish doesn't understand this one. It gives huge advantage to white. You just put the king on c7 or knight on c7 and do nothing. You just do nothing. And Stockfish just, this is nonsense. This is nonsense. Actually, it's 7 pieces. In my view, they should stop the play if there are 7 pieces on the board, because all the positions are already established by Lomonosov table base. Although in the semifinals, yeah, some NN engine just lost table base position. Anyways, so that was an easy draw for LcZero. And now let's move on to the next game, where they had literally the same position until h4. Yeah, Stockfish didn't go for h5. Didn't go for h5, and here LcZero, no, they had, this is the same position, my apologies. Same position, king f8 played by LcZero, just saw, it's a draw. And I'm online, you can see me, thank you so much. All right, so, and here Stockfish played b5 instead of king f8, which LcZero did, and after b5, again, LcZero, I think it could have went for, let me see, correspondence, they just took on f6 in one. I don't know what kind of game was that. And LcZero just goes to a better endgame. King f8, I'm guessing taking on d5, this is just a very poor position. And it just outplays Stockfish positionally. Again, with every move, white is improving the position. Double the rooks, moves the knight, improves the rook. Apparently, the bishop on f4 has nothing to do. So bishop on d5 is good. Rook goes to b3. Now it's time to improve the bishop, takes. Black is pawn up. But strategically, black is in huge trouble. With every move, white is improving the position. Just it's marvelous. Bishop goes, king goes, pawn goes, e-pawn goes. Somehow Stockfish doesn't understand that this is a horrible position from strategical point of view. I guess if they stop playing due to table-based rules, many people will be confused if they don't memorize all the positions and won't understand what happened. Yeah, but they stop at 6 pieces table base, why not 7? So I don't see a significant difference between 6 and 7, except that they can make mistakes. Either you don't use table bases at all, or you use all available. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong here. Anyways, what happened next? Let the bishop improve the knight, improves the rook, and now the king goes, the bishop goes. Created more. 4 pawn islands for black. This is the maximum number one can have. There cannot be more pawn islands than that. Table they play on these rare instances. I see. Okay. Some good points in the chat. All right. Knight is going to c6, rook is going to open file. It all looks so easy, which is misleading, of course. But all the moves are so logical. Take the pawn, take another pawn, and then push the pawns. Rook g3, maybe black would exchange, and yeah. Now, surprisingly, LcZero converted very quickly. Well, not surprisingly, it was a race, so you just race to the. That's it. I don't know, it's ridiculous. So, complete masterpiece from positional point of view. Next one. LcZero Stockfish, and they were forced to play this position. I think they were forced to play this one, and LcZero with colors reversed played e6. By the way, and then played d5. It was much worse, but positional play, and it managed to hold. Stockfish went for e5, and white took that bishop, and it reminded me a lot of LcZero Stockfish match from 2-3 years ago. It was always taking two bishops if it could, castle kings, queen side. Okay, again, just check every single move. Improves the bishop, moves the queen away, long castle, improves the knight, improves the king, prepare kingside onslaught, rook g1, a4, and c5. Well, from human point of view, I don't really understand this move, but they are not humans after all. And so you may be surprised of the decision made by Stockfish in the few moves. White is again strategically winning. White has a monster bishop on c3. Black has no attack on the queen side. White would eventually do something on the king side like this, or maybe f3. Move all the pieces to the king side and checkmate. Zero counterplay for black. At some point, Stockfish understands how bad the position is. f4 is coming, g4 is coming. Gives up the pawn. And after that, well, this is just... Okay, nice trick by Lila. b3, the rook is trapped because of the pin. No more moves for the rook. So rook goes back. And again, white is pawn up, but white's position is better. That's the evaluation of the position. Again, another masterpiece from LcZero. Improves the bishop. I don't know about h4. Usually you're not supposed to put the pawns on the color of your bishop, but the advantage is so huge that it's just irrelevant. Get some space, push some pawns, improve the bishop, double rooks here, prepare e5. I think e5 would win here, but LcZero is still waiting for black to play this move. Now bishop goes from that side. Just, of course, it would not go for repetition. This is just silly. And now black just loses the a pawn, and this is just embarrassing. This is just embarrassing. Yeah, not much to discuss. 2 pawns up, 3 pawns up. That's it. Masterpiece by LcZero. And I'm guessing this is a way to play this position. Maybe bishop b4 check is not good. Knight c7 played in correspondence. And now probably e4 would have been played. Knight g6. And LcZero is still better at King's Indian structures. Where do I find all these games? Oh, okay. So TCEC chess.com, not chess.com, TCEC Superfinal Championship. They are currently playing it. I'll put the link in the description if I do not forget. They are currently playing. The Stockfish and LcZero are playing on very powerful machines, and the match is still in progress. LcZero is 2 points up, and now it's playing white. It's always playing white second after Stockfish. Thank God they don't have psychology, because from psychological point of view, it's quite difficult to be the second. I think so. So that's why in the matches they switch colors in the middle of the tournament to get this benefit of upper hand, to playing white first. I mean human matches. All right. So let's go to the next game. Stockfish. Oh, now Stockfish beating LcZero. I think they were asked to play. I'm not sure where they stopped the theory. Not here. Not somewhere here they stopped the theory. Well, Scandinavian is famous for its being not so good. And I love the way Stockfish crushed here LcZero. Just put the bishop on g2. Okay, e6, just a bad move. Like knight c6 is a better try for black. But the position is still bad, and after e6, white just goes g4, knight goes to e5, b7 is hanging, and the bishop on g6 has no place to go. H4 is coming, so no time for c6 because h4, and the bishop is trapped. So knight c6, bishop takes h4, and this is just horrible pawn structure for LcZero. So basically the game was lost in the opening here. White is strategically just crushing here. Queen d3, Long castle, b3, pawn up for black. But this is okay. c7 is hanging. No, not even a pawn up, so black is suffering for no compensation whatsoever. Rook goes, and well, of course LcZero is a very strong engine, so it did resist for quite a bit, but this is just lost. The rook comes into play, but with just heavy pieces and 0 pawns, there's no attack, and white is just simply crushing it. White is just simply crushing. And I like the way Stockfish is converting. It's converting in the fastest possible manner. Just push the pawns, move the bishop, take, push the pawn, and well, a nice tactical trick. And the fork. There are enough pawns to win, and rook goes, king goes, and that's it. The game is over. So this game was lost in the opening. Not really much to discuss here. You hate the Scandinavian. Magnus plays it with black in blitz all the time, and I think he goes for a6 g3. I'm not sure if he's going for bishop g4, which is the main move in the position. h3, maybe you can take and play passive solid chess. Bishop h5, bishop g2, knight c6 is a better try for black. I think he may be doing that himself, but again, very strong Stockfish is just crushing this one. So this is I think it's objectively not a good opening, but from practical point of view it's really good if you know exactly what you're doing. Next game. So this game was played on 14th. All right. And now let's see how LcZero plays. So the same position. And now LcZero played bishop f4. Stockfish played h3, which is a good move. Bishop g2 is a good move. There's I lost to Firuza like this, but I had a great position, as you can see here. I had a great position, but then lost. I think that was the first game of our match. Yep. I had a great position somewhere here. This is like enormous advantage for me, but I played a4. I forgot about queen b3 and then lost. He's amazingly good in blitz, you know. You can check his game from yesterday against Dink. He had completely lost position and managed to make a draw. Anyways, I got lost in the bishop f4 was played by LcZero, and there are almost no games from high level players. And bishop f4 almost never played. Queen e6 check, bishop back to e2, e3, bishop to e2. I find this very weird. I think h3 or bishop g2 is much more human, so I wouldn't recommend that you try playing bishop f4 yourself here. But the position hasn't changed much. White has 2 bishops, but not crushing advantage as Stockfish had against LcZero. Now long castle, bishop d2, castle, king b1. So here LcZero, if I recall correctly, already gave huge advantage to white, and Stockfish didn't give that much of an advantage. White took 2 bishops, and huge advantage from for white in this position, just because white has 2 bishops in a semi-open position. Black will have a good knight on d5 after b5, but LcZero says, but you have no attack whatsoever, because even with this h3, I find it quite unusual, to be frank. It's very difficult for black to open files. If b4, I can just take or push a4. If a5, b4, I always have a4. It's very difficult to open files, and c5 would just make this bishop a monster. And white is slowly pushing the pawns. This is very unusual, I would say, because LcZero plays different castles positionally. Usually it's like one is attacking like crazy on one side of the board and the other side is attacking on the opposite side, and but LcZero says no, I'm gonna play positionally, no mate today. I'm just outplay you. I have, as Valery points out correctly, 2 bishops and more space. From human point of view, it's very dangerous for white because there are 2 knights on the board and in time trouble you blunder, but LcZero just loves the pawn on h6. It's just because it can see the long-term advantages of having the pawn there. It would be much more difficult to open files, but the king is forever exposed now. King a1, rook b8, c3. White is saying you will, I'm gonna block you there, you will not. This is amazing. From human point of view, it looks very dangerous. a5, b4 is coming. White is not even close in opening any files. It says, no, I'm gonna open this file for you. If you move the knight, white can push c5 and no files get open, and white would have eventually this plan. So black took, white took, and that's it. b2 is well protected, c6 is weak. Black has like two good pieces, the knight and the rook, and that's it. No more good pieces for black. Queen went to f6, and now white slowly improves the position. Queen moves back, gets some space, moves the rook to the center. Okay, f4 is necessary, so why didn't go rook f4, rook f1 immediately, I don't know. Improves the queen a little bit. You want to keep two bishops for sure, that bishop is magnificent. a4, bishop goes to a2, better diagonal. Preparing to double rooks on the c file, improves the bishop, gets some space, improves the rook, improves the rook, improves the queen, and now improve another bishop. Okay, now it's like so winning, because knight on h5 is completely out of the game, c6 is weak, all white squares, dark squares and white squares, everything is weak in black's position. This is just horrible. Why queen takes f2 was so bad? Which move are you referring to? Queen takes f2. I'm not sure which move you're referring to. Queen. You mean here queen takes f2. Is that the question? Let me see. Queen takes f2 here. For some reason I missed this move. Hold on a second. Why is it so bad? That's a very good question. That is a very good question. Why is it so bad? So it played rook to c8, so I'm guessing c6 pawn was the problem. Queen f2. Maybe queen c6. And if knight f6, then there are problems on the f file, I'm guessing. And otherwise, yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe from practical point of view, on human level, queen f2 would be good. But in computer chess, why was that? Okay, maybe I do this. So you have to take. So now f7 is weak. And f4, there's an alignment on this diagonal. How can I use it? Maybe I can just take. You take with the pawn. Maybe I attack. And then I go with the bishop. Rook d8 is possible. Okay, so maybe I don't take. Just take on c6. I'm guessing too many open files. I'm guessing too many open files for oh, Sam, thank you. Open files and open diagonals. I'm normally using Stockfish to support my analysis, but okay, finally it's working. Okay, let's see if I was right. Rook h to f1. Why on earth rook d to f1? Please, rook d to f1. It's much more human. Both are good, yes. Rook d to f1, queen g3 and queen c6. Apparently this is crushing. Bishop f4. So they know what they are doing, right? So I'm mostly focusing on positional aspects. But thank you for asking. The pawn was indeed hanging. And so where was I? Yeah, just g5, knight is on h5. Again, another positional masterpiece. Without any tactics, almost without any tactics. So black is just collapsing here. There are way too many weaknesses. This pawn is weak, this is weak, the knight is out, this diagonal is weak. This is just horrible. And I have an issue that LcZero was converting for so long. This is just completely crushing. And it was, okay, there are so many extra pawns, just push them, just push the pawns. Why would you give up that pawn? Anyways, there's not much to discuss here. White is winning whatever happens. It took like way longer than it would have taken for Stockfish, because in the neural networks worldview, it's all winning and it doesn't matter. All right, next game, which was played 2 days ago, so we're getting closer. LcZero Stockfish. Aha. Okay, so they were asked to play King's Indian. I think they were stopped here. And I was actually hoping for h3 from LcZero or f3, but it chose bishop e2 and knight f3, which is the main line. So, and I'm very sad that Stockfish chose this move. Knight c6 is of course the main move for black, and d5, knight e7. The problem is that Stockfish doesn't understand these positions because it doesn't value the checkmate crushing attack for black that can happen here. If black pushes f5, f4, g5, g4, it underestimates it, and it gives too big advantage for white, so it settles for this positionally worse position. c6, d5 is the main try for black here, c6 followed by d5. But after knight c6, knight c2, I think this is just much easier to play for white. Oopsie daisy. Knight to d7, bishop e3, takes. So not too many grandmasters played this one. They played knight c5. What I think white is just simply much better positionally because white has more space. That's it, period. White has more space and black has no pawn breakthroughs. f5 is really difficult to push, d5 is impossible, and white has more space. That's it, and all the pieces are on the board. What was really funny, the evaluation of Stockfish was zeros here and +1 or maybe more than +1 for white. This is actually quite typical to take this one, double the pawns, and argue, in Benoni, sometimes they do it in King's Indian, argues that this diagonal, because of this pawn on c3, is closed, and that's why the attack on the king side is not so dangerous. But LcZero says, no, I have long-term advantage of 2 bishops and potential attack on the king side. Black, on the other hand, has a c5 square and the potential weakness on c4. So check out what LcZero is doing, asking to undouble the pawns. Of course, that's not happening. Improving the bishop, improving the queen. Queen goes in the direction of the king side. Now rook goes to the center, h4, it loves h4, h5. Queen f6, pawn is hanging, so it's better to protect it for now. Improve another rook, improves the knight. Yeah, you can take it, queen e5, rook cd1, that's where rooks belong. Actually, c6, bishop moves back to put some pressure on d6 pawn, knight d8, and I love the following move for white. White needs to attack the king somehow, but this bishop is now doesn't have that much to do. Knight f7 would come, kick it away. Where should that poor bishop go? That poor bishop should go to long diagonal. But you can try bishop e3, but there's c5, they will always kick you away. So what do? You give up this pawn, you don't need it. Knight f7, bishop goes back to c1, f4, pushing the queen, c4, you can take another pawn, I don't care. As long as the bishops go, as long as that one dark squared bishop, which has no opponent, goes to the long diagonal, and that is pretty much it. That is pretty much it. White's attack is overwhelming. h5, you can take another pawn, I don't care. Now queen slowly goes to the king side. I take that pawn. I will definitely keep the queens. Your king is weak. I'm not blundering. Mate in 1. No queen exchange to knight. You can take another pawn, I don't care. Okay, the exchange is hanging, so I'm gonna take your exchange and I'm gonna do this one. Takes. And white won the piece. Could have black played something else? I really doubt it. Stockfish was running on extraordinarily powerful machine. It was counting like billions of positions before it made its decision. And there's nothing black could do because LcZero is way better at seeing long-term things rather than short-term things. And it converted the piece, well, too slow. Took some pawns. Took the pawn. Yeah, it's just full piece up for just a few pawns that are going to be lost. The pawn is lost. And now it's just weird. Now it's just weird. Rook b8, bishop c. All these way too long. Where's this bishop going? Way too long. Okay, finally. So clearly winning position, not the best technique from LcZero. But strategical masterpiece. It did attack a king, sort of. Right, h5. So, and black was already desperate here. White's bishop would eventually appear on b2. h5 is hanging, the rook is coming here. So that's why black decided to give up some material, but it didn't help. Next game, which was played yesterday. All right, one win from Stockfish. By the way, after this game, Stockfish won and didn't lose with black. So kudos for Stockfish. Because they had to play this position somewhere here. Famous line, is it Chigorin? I think it's Chigorin. Hello, Josephus Joseph. Sorry, my apologies for mispronouncing. Hello, Joseph. All right. So they were asked to play this position, and Stockfish won against LcZero, and LcZero couldn't win with white, and that's because this is an open dynamic position. Strategy is not that relevant here. It's like purely calculation, and Stockfish is better at that. So just took the pawn. I think this position happened. Hold on a second. I think they give up the f7 pawn usually. I think they go long castle and give up the f7 pawn. Rook b1, it's b6. Queen takes f7, and then knight goes somewhere f6 to open the f file for the knight. Usually that's what they do in correspondence, and LcZero decided to give up that pawn. Stockfish just took it and just converted it. Rook to the center, queen goes back, develop the bishop, improve the bishop, improve the rook, exchange. If you have extra pawn, exchange pieces, e4, forcing some exchanges, going to this rook endgame. And here is something I want to tell you. LcZero is apparently not so good in rook endgames. So here, Stockfish was saying that you should exchange. So here, after move rook a6, Stockfish's evaluation jumped 1.5 pawns up. What should have black done here? I think it's exchange the rooks and try your best to exchange a pawn. So I think it was takes and a5, and push the pawn as fast as you can and try to exchange these two pawns. I want to check this game, what was the main line from Stockfish, because after that move, LcZero definitely made a mistake here, because a0 lost this game to Stockfish 2, and Stockfish drew the reverse. Yep. MLH nets will be much better at converting. Why? What is MLH? What does MLH stand for? All right, so I'm gonna quickly check the game that Stockfish won, and where LcZero blundered, didn't exchange the rooks. So the main line from Stockfish was going takes a5 and moves the king to the center. Yes, takes a5 and then moves the king and hope to move the king to e7, hope to exchange these two pawns. What LcZero did, it just delayed an exchange, and white was in time to push h5, and it was still didn't understand, it was not getting that this is a horrible position, because the moment black goes king to d7, white goes rook g2. So king, so a5, king, okay. So if black were to go king e7, king f2, king d7, it's rook g1, and that's the problem. White were in time to push to h5, and black couldn't meet it with g6 because h5 is still coming. And that was the difference, and LcZero didn't understand the problem. And also it was not, so Stockfish was saying, that's it, I'm winning here with one rook on the board. This is completely winning, because, well, I would just push my rook to a6, I would go e4, f5 and win, and LcZero did not understand this one. So I find it quite unusual. All right, so I need to wrap up because the Carlsen is happening. So, and Stockfish just did it, just moved the king, pushed f5, and took the pawn, took that pawn, and then king went in and took another pawn, and the game was lost. And the reverse came, Stockfish managed to hold. All right, now Stockfish also won this one with different castles. So I like the way Stockfish won this one. Very straightforward, exactly what you're supposed to be doing. When you have different castles, just push your pawns. Check out the next moves from Stockfish. Actually, with colors reversed, Stockfish didn't play rook d8, it played knight to e8, which is maybe a better move. It's g4, g5, h4, moves the bishop, g6, very typical sacrifice. Open as many files as you can, b4, moves the knight, take the pawn, improves the queen, improves the bishop, and it's go time. e5. Magnificent move, just taking, it's very hard to even explain why it is good, but I like it from human point of view, because that's exactly how you should be attacking the king. You just attack with all your power, open the diagonals. Next move would be something like rook to g1, and checkmate is coming. A takes b, takes, knight takes. Now bishop h6, just awesome move. And then bishop takes g7, and then bishop to f6. This is magnificent. Queen a7. So many open files. This is how you should be playing. Yeah, if bishop h1 is queen h5 winning. So all white's pieces are in the attack. This is some crazy chess, and there's nothing. White has way too many pieces up, and LcZero resigned. And the last game I want you to see, I think that's the last game that finished with the win from either side. This is how LcZero is converting its advantage. Purely positional. MLH stands for moves left head, so basically it will include moves left to the end of the game as another input for its learning. So it would try to convert the advantage quickly. Alright, so the last game, again, they have the same position. Of course, they choose these dubious lines because otherwise they just play all the draws. And here Stockfish chooses knight e8, and LcZero goes h4, favorite move by LcZero and AlphaZero. Bishop goes, it plays positionally. Check it out. The pawn is still on h6, but white is playing positionally. h3, bishop d3, rooks to the center. No mate today. No mate today. We are playing positional chess. There are a weak pawn on d6. I'm slowly improving my pieces. So here's this knight is coming to e3, that knight is coming to c3. I'm playing purely positionally. I just have enormous, significant positional advantage. No mate to knight. And actually, it was a time trouble in which Stockfish actually Stockfish was very close to keeping the fortress here. What at some point g5 happened. Come on. So it's very hard to convert. How can you convert this one? b3 is not happening. How do you win a 4 pawn? This is very difficult to convert for black. For white, apologies. Of course for white. So at some point Stockfish played g5, or maybe Lila forced the g5. Yeah, I think white was ready to go f4, so it played g5. And now they played for a very long time. Both of them were in time trouble, 5 seconds per move. And Stockfish was succeeding in keeping the fortress. I'm not sure if I can break this one. This is 1.5 evaluation from both engines, but I couldn't find the clear way to break through for white until Stockfish made this. Until Stockfish played this weird rook move, rook b7. From human point of view, you don't want to calculate this and takes. You just go rook a6. And it went rook b7, and now it's too late. Rook a7 loses to rook d6 because of fork. Rook a8 loses to rook d2, double threat. So it's too late, and now king goes to e7, and now takes, pawn takes, knight takes, and 2 pawns convert eventually. This is something any human wouldn't want to play with black, and Stockfish yet made a mistake in time trouble. Maybe if it had more time to think, not only 500 million positions per 5 seconds, or even more, that was apparently not enough. So I just moved the knight to d6, improved the rook, took some pawns, pushed them. I'm not gonna go into detail, and white eventually won, not in the fastest possible way. 187 moves compared to the previous game, which was 46 moves. Stockfish crushed LcZero. All right, thank you for watching. There's still a new game is in progress, but so far the score is 85 games has passed, 43.5 to 41.5, plus 2 for LcZero. Only 15 games to go. LcZero would be a winner unless they play only open dynamic positions in which Stockfish wins with white and makes a draw with black. Otherwise, yeah. And now it's game 86, and LcZero is white, and LcZero is better. So probably LcZero would maybe win, maybe even it would win, although I'm not so sure about that. LcZero doesn't need more wins anyways. So I think the Carlsen Invitational has already started, so thank you for staying with me. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Read the description of the video. I will change it shortly because I'm still using this restream stuff that I'm not very familiar with. Thank you for joining in. I'm streaming regularly. I would love to give you a heads up. Follow me on Facebook and you will not miss my stream. Okay. All right. Thank you for watching. Check out the description. There's links to my work that you can help my channel, sort of, by buying my work. Thank you for watching. Take care. Goodbye.